The Stanley Parable is an incredibly unique adventure game, in which you play as a man named Stanley, who is employed to sit behind a computer monitor and push randomly presented buttons on a keyboard. One day, he notices that all the other employees in his building are missing, and so he decides to investigate. A key feature of the game is the brilliant narration voiced by Kevan Brighting. The script is very amusing and sometimes hilarious. Throughout the game, the narrator dictates what happens in the story just before you actually perform the action. For example, towards the beginning, there are two doors you can go through, with the narrator stating that Stanley heads through the left door. However, you can of course choose to go through the door on the right, which will cause the narrator to comment upon the decision.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
There are a vast number of choices to be made during the experience, each one leading you into different directions. Because of this, there are a wide number of endings for you to experience. Many of these endings will be achieved in just a few minutes, while others take a bit longer. The gameplay isn't at all conventional, but that's part of its charm. It's fun to see how far the game will take you, and experiencing each ending is memorable and unique in their own ways. It's amazing how the game ended up making me feel differently about the narrator with each ending due to how each path changes personality in a way.
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless, to see you made humble.
The game is very clearly satirical and isn't at all meant to be taken seriously. On one path, the game parodies the popular Minecraft, while another leads you to a museum of the Stanley Parable itself. Despite having so many endings, the game does feel a bit dry in terms of content. I'd experienced almost all of the possible endings in less than 2 hours. For an asking price of $15, this is disappointing, especially when the game is a remake of a free source mod of the same name. Overall, the game is very unique and quite enjoyable, but is lacking in content. I would recommend trying out the free source mod if you are unsure about the purchase. The Stanley Parable is certainly a game I had fun with, and seeing more games like it would be great.
Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite.